Hello fellow nerdmaids and nerdmaids-to-be, my name is Faith, and today we will be talking about the definitive list of tails that fit the Mahina Monofin. So, the Mahina. You love it or you hate it. I love it, as you know. I like to go Noom, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, and it's super durable, it holds up really well. I should stop talking about the Mahina, go watch my review if you care about it. Unfortunately, a lot of people have the struggle of finding tails that fit it. There's actually been a number of tail makers that have come on the scene that you might not have heard of in the last couple of years. Today we're going to be going through tails that are made for the Mahina, tails that will fit it if there's like vinyl and stuff, and tails that you probably shouldn't use for the Mahina, but you can anyways. So let's get started with the one that started it all for me, the Magic tail. They have the Pro line of tails. These are made in Germany. They're super gorgeous. I love this tail. It's one of my favorites to wear. Unfortunately, it's showing a little bit of its age recently, but I still love it. This one fits the Mahina perfectly, and they also have their deluxe line of tails. You can see Shay Monique swimming in hers here, and these ones are even more souped up with fins and less see-through fabrics, and you can even custom design them, so totally recommend Magic tail, especially if you are in the European region. Next up is one you guys are probably all familiar with. This is Shop Vancouver Mermaid. So as you see, this is a Mahina shaped tail. Shop Vancouver Mermaid takes orders custom designed for you, for your measurements. She will make tails for the Luna, the Linden, the Mahina, and maybe even a few others if you're creative. So the Mahina is one of her main ones. It is a more expensive option because it requires more fabric, but oh golly gee, you guys know how much I love Shop Vancouver Mermaid, and combining Courtney's artistry with the Mahina was a dream come true. Now, another one for all of you Canadians is Virtuoso Shop. Recently, they are working on some expansions, so you're gonna see new and improved and even better, bigger tails from Virtuoso, but I talked to them. Their plans are still to have tails that will fit the Mahina. Virtuoso makes custom size, custom colors mermaid tails. They're just gorgeous. Their work is fantastic, so if you are interested in getting a tail for your Mahina from a small, maybe local shop, check Virtuoso out. Now here is another one for all my Canadian mermaids. This video is actually sponsored by Mermaid Inc. So Mermaid Inc is actually a company based out of Indonesia, and I've been looking at their tails for a number of years, but the shipping to Canada has been a little bit of an oof. They're actually doing a special limited time deal for all the Canadians out there. So if you are interested in getting a beautiful tail for the Mahina, wait till the end of the video and I'll tell you more. Now here's another tail maker you may have seen hopping around in my YouTube videos and Instagram posts. This is SeaSide FairyTails. She made a tail for the Mahina for my friend Rebecca. She's on hiatus right now, but I talked with her and she said she's planning on returning to tail making sometime soon. So check her out, follow her on Instagram and Etsy. Another Etsy tail maker is Haley Mermaid. You may have seen her swimming around YouTube and TikTok, and she makes tails, both fabric and silicone, for the Mahina. I have seen her silicone tail for the Mahina in person. If you want to see what those look like, I have a few photos, and she may be able to do a commission for the Mahina Monofin. Another Asian fabric tail maker is Gleta Putui Diamond Song. I'm not entirely sure how to say it, but they do have tails for the Mahina, which I have seen in person and look lovely. You can check out this clip of one of their happy customers swimming in their tails, and as far as I know, they're not knockoffs, which is good. So if you want to check them out, they're a little bit harder to acquire, but with a bit of digging, you could possibly find a really cool and unique tail for your Mahina Monofin. And last up on the list is, if none of these made you happy or within your budget, you can always do it yourself. I have seen self-made tails from anything from sparkly fabrics to printed fabrics, all by yourself, DIY. There's a ton of tutorials out there, including this one by Justine, the Mermaid Seamstress. Or you can also check out Shop Vancouver Mermaid's book on how to make printed fabric tails. If you use my code NERDMAID, you can get 10% off. Ding! Alright, and next up we have tails with vinyl in them. We're gonna start with Aquarius Mermaid tails, also known as swim tails. Yes. But they do make tails for the Mahina and they have vinyl. I've seen a few of them in person. They look lovely. I haven't heard anything bad about Aquarius customer service yet, so it might be worth looking into, especially if you want something super fancy and maybe even custom. And then there's a few more. There is, of course, Mermaid Aqua. So this is another Asian tail maker, Mermaid Aqua. She made me this one, and I kind of managed to jam the Mahina in, but not really. But you can get a custom tail from her. Mermaid Shana here, she has a wonderful octopus tail. It has a bit of vinyl, and the Mahina works in it, and it's really awesome. I think it's super cool. So if you're into a custom mermaid tail from her for a pretty good price, you can check it out. Another Another newer tail maker you may have not heard of is Moonsong Magic. She's based out of South Africa, and she's made vinyl tails for the Mahina. You can see this video of her swimming in, and a close friend of mine, maybe we'll have a video coming out about it, so... But they're really cool looking, and I might possibly do a review in the future, but they will also fit the Mahina, and they've got vinyl on the inside, and they look super good. Another newer tail maker is Neverland Mermaid Tails, based out of Australia. She doesn't have videos of the Mahina inside her tails yet. Maybe one day you'll see a swimming video with someone using the Mahina in it. Wink wink. If you want to check her or anyone else out, again, links are in the description. Another mermaid tail maker that's newer on the scene is called FinPainter. They can take requests to use the Mahina inside it. You can see Siren Sandy swimming in hers. It also has vinyl on the inside to help keep the cool funky shape. So check them out online. You might be able to commission a mermaid tail from the Mahina that's really unique. And of course, we have FinFolk. If you guys recall, I did manage to jam my Mahina inside the FinFolk. Now, the problem is that it's not super recommended because the walls of the Mahina are so high. Like, look at this thickness. Compared to the thickness of the Shooter Monofin, it's not so great. So, you can do it. It's more of a do at your own risk. I have done it in both of my FinFolk tails, but honestly, I prefer the Shooter Monofin inside of my FinFolk, so you can fit a Mahina in a FinFolk. It's not super recommended. It may cause pop seams and stuff. So that's it for vinyl tails. And now let's go into a few little other ones. First up is a sling tail. I had a tail from the now defunct Aquatails that was a sling tail. Worked with my Mahina. It looked super pretty. Unfortunately, they have passed on. Justine the Mermaid Seamstress taught me how to make a sling tail by yourself. So it's really simple. You basically just cut 2 holes in the fluke and then sew it together. So it looks like this on your mermaid tail. It's a really neat way to feature your Mahina, and it's super easy to do. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link to our live stream where she taught me. But if you're not feeling super confident on making your own sling tail, you can also purchase one from Mertailor. Mertailor's sling tails are meant for the Fantasy 1 monofin, which is a little bit different shaped than the Mahina, but I've seen people do it. This is Mermaid Sandra from Canada. She's flapping her fins, and it looks actually pretty good. This is another do at your own risk, but people have done it. There is, again, the potential of stretching and ripping. Another tail from Mertailor that will fit the Mahina is the Fantasy 2 tails. If you want to see what it looks like and kind of her thoughts on it, you can check the video, but I think it looks really neat. I'm not sure about the 3. I think that it might be a bit of a stretch for the 3 because the 3 is real big. And lastly, we have the horrible monstrosity of stretching out a tail beyond recognition to stuff the Mahina inside. What? I've never done that. Yes, I have. This is what I like to call Frankentail. It's a suntail that has seen better days, and I have managed to put my Mahina inside. Not entirely recommended. Can make it work with a little bit of careful rolling. Ooh, look at those holes. Oh, more holes. Ta-da! Oh, shoot. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get you out of there. I'm sorry. So, if you really want to torture your tails, you can do this, and it will swim in the water, but don't. So that is my list of tails that will fit the Mahina, and it's actually a pretty big list. It's bigger than a lot of people think it is. You just have to do a bit of digging, and thankfully I am the Mermaid Queen. So this is hopefully my complete list. There are a few tail makers that have made tails for the Mahina that are now defunct or don't do it anymore, so keep that in mind if you start commenting and be like, well, what about Purple Mermaid's tails? So now let's talk about Mermaid Inc. I've seen one of their tails in person, and it was one of their older models, but they've actually come out with a couple new lines, and they reached out to me seeing if I wanted to do a collaboration, and I said, of course. And so I'll be doing a review of one of their tails soon. If you are Canadian and you want to get a mermaid tail from Mermaid Inc. for the low shipping cost of $15 instead of $94. They're having a special deal on right now until June 25th, so this is a really limited time offer, but if you're thinking of getting a new mermaid tail, they're also having a sale on their Sea Siren series, so you can save a bunch of money, going from $320 to $224 for a Sea Siren tail. They've got a lot of options. It looks really cool, so if you want to check them out, I put the link in the bio, and it is the Nerdmaid Faith shipping special, which makes me feel so special. This is super awesome. I'm really glad they reached out, and I hope that some of you guys will find a wonderful new glorious mermaid tail for your Mahina. Look forward to a review of this and a few other mermaid tails that I've mentioned in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. Comment below if I missed any current tail makers. If I missed any, please let me know. I challenge you. Are there any that I haven't thought of? Leave any thoughts you have in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you get notified every time I upload or go live. Thank you once again for watching, and I will see you later. Bye! Do at your own risk and people's